Hello and welcome back to the Inside the Mix podcast. If this is your first time listening to the podcast or watching the podcast, welcome and thanks for listening. The goal of this show is to help you grow and develop as a music producer, mix engineer and songwriter with music production and songwriting tips and tricks in a straightforward, easy to digest format without the technical jargon. For those that already listened to the podcast, welcome back and thanks for joining me again. So in this episode, I'm going to cover vocal compression. Why am I covering vocal compression? Well, compression in general is very tricky and it can be tricky to get your head around. And in particular, vocal compression is it's quite challenging. So hopefully you'll be able to take something away from this episode. So let's dive in. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is just set a really basic compressor for this vocal performance. It's a female lead vocal with a nice performance throughout, to be honest. So there won't be that much stress on the compressor. Now when setting the compressor, depending on the performance itself, you want probably anywhere between -2 to -6 dB, -6 dB being quite a varied performance in terms of dynamic range. Now what I would usually do before using the compressor is gain stage automation. Now the idea being, in brief, with gain stage automation is that I can even out the level throughout before it hits the compressor and it takes some of that load off of the compressor. But in this instance I haven't done that, and that is a topic for a future video. So what I'm going to do here is this. I've got my cycle region for those watching this in Logic, and this is what it sounds like without any compression.
I know what it seems like, though what we feel is dreaming like so peaceful all the time. When I'm with you, you're still stuck in my mind.
Okay, so a nice performance there. So what I'm going to use is the stock Logic compressor. And I'm going to opt for the vintage. Actually, I'm not going to go for the vintage opto. I'm going to go for a Studio FET. Now, an FET, a transistor compressor, is faster acting on transients. So it's a good one to use if you want to clamp down on transients before you hit a compressor for color, for example. So I'm in Logic. I'm going to turn off the auto gain. I'm going to turn off the auto release. If you've watched a previous video of mine on compression, I'm going to set the compressor the way I always do. So I'm going to bring the threshold all the way down. I'm going to turn the ratio all the way up. I'm going to turn up the makeup gain. And I'm going to increase the attack, decrease the release, and play. Here we go.
I know what it seems like, though what we feel is...
Now the reason I've turned up the gain on the vocal is so that I can hear the compressor working. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dial it back a bit so it's quite loud. I'm going to gradually decrease the attack until the vocal performance starts to dull.
I know what it seems like, though what we feel is dreaming like so peaceful all the time.
So as you can hear, that was quite exaggerated. So I dialed it back until it dulled, and then I increased the attack again just to the other side of that happening. So then I'm going to do the same with the release. So I'm actually going to increase the release to the point where it dulls again.
I know what it seems like, though
so hopefully you can hear that. So I'll dial it back.
So peaceful all the time.
Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down that gain. I'm going to bring it down to 0. I'm going to bring down the ratio to 4:1, which is a good starting point for a vocal. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to control the threshold until I get about -2 dB of gain reduction.
When I'm with you, you're still stuck in my mind.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to compensate for the gain reduction.
What it seems like,
probably only about 1 dB.
Like so peaceful all the time.
Probably a bit less attack.
When I'm with you, you're still stuck in my mind.
Okay, and that has set the basic compressor for this vocal performance. As I say, it is a very good vocal performance in terms of dynamic range. So I'm going to play it without.
I know what it seems like, though what we feel is dreaming like so peaceful all the time.
And this is with.
I know what it seems like, though what we feel is dreaming like so peaceful all the time.
So hopefully what you can hear there is the actual vocal phrasing and the words used are more level throughout. The idea being with compression that you in the mix itself you can hear all of the words being sung. Admittedly, I would do this in the context of a mix but I haven't got that in front of me right now. But when you do this, use the makeup gain, the threshold, and the ratio. Well, use all the controls, because what you want to do is you want to be able to hear all the words being sung throughout the mix. And in doing so, you'll have a nice dynamic range throughout that performance. So that is setting the basic compressor for a vocal. So this next technique could be used if you have a particularly troublesome vocal performance. So there's a lot of dynamic range going on. So what you can do with this one in particular is you could use 2 compressors. Now, the first compressor, I advise using some form of sort of FET. So an FET is a fast acting compressor in which it will clamp down on those transients. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the first compressor, this FET, and I'm going to have a fast attack on this one here with a sort of medium to fast release. And then I'm going to have about 8:1 on my ratio. And I want to get gain reduction to around 4 to 5 dB. So let's give this a go.
Like the one we feel is dreaming like so peaceful all the time. When I'm with you, you're still stuck in my mind. I guess I'm hypnotized by your eyes, but terrified.
So the idea being there is I just want to catch the peaks. I just want to catch peaks in this one here, of which there aren't many, to be honest.
I know what it seems like.
So that's my FET. So the settings for this one in particular, you probably want around sort of 8 to 12:1 in terms of ratio. You want a fast attack and a medium to fast release, and set it so you've got sort of 4 to 5 dB of gain reduction. Then obviously use the makeup gain to compensate for that gain reduction. So then what I'm going to do is that is catching my peaks. I'm then going to have an optical compressor. So once again, I'm using Logic here, and I'm going to use the vintage opto compressor. So this one here, I'm going to have a slower attack, similar to what I did in the first tutorial, and then a faster release. And then I'm just going to leave it set at about 4:1 in terms of ratio, and I can play around with that. And in this one here, I just want about 2 to 3 dB of gain reduction, because I just want to add a nice sort of gentle gain riding to this one. So let's give this a try and see what it sounds like.
I know what it seems like. The one we feel is dreaming like so peaceful all the time. When I'm with you, you're still stuck in my mind.
So let's give that a go and see what it sounds like.
I know what it seems like. The one we feel is dreaming like so peaceful all the time. When I'm with you, you're still stuck in my mind. I guess I'm hypnotized by your eyes, but terrified I lose sight.
So the idea being there is you should have a nice upfront vocal. So I'm just going to play it without the 2 compressors.
I know what it seems like. The one we feel is.
Okay, and this is with the 2 compressors.
I know what it seems like. The one we feel is dreaming like so peaceful all the time.
Okay, so a nice upfront vocal. So just to reiterate, what I've done there is the first compressor is an FET compressor, and I've got it set to 8:1 in terms of ratio, and I'm catching the peaks 4 to 5 dB, and then I've got a very fast attack and a medium to fast release, and then gain to compensate. The second compressor, I've used an optical compressor. Now, optical compressors don't clamp down on transients as fast as FET compressors, and they're very good for color. Okay, so this one here, I'm looking at about 2 to 3 dB in terms of gain reduction, a slower attack, and the release probably around the same, to be honest. And then a ratio of around 4:1, and you can play around with that ratio to suit your production. And once again, the idea being you'll get a very smooth upfront vocal performance. So give that one a go if you've got a vocal with a very tricky dynamic range. So this vocal compression technique uses 2 FET compressors. And the first FET compressor has a very fast attack, or the fastest attack, and a medium to fast release, and a ratio of 8:1. And I'm going to set the threshold so I've got about 4 to 6 dB of compression.
I know what it seems like. The one we feel is dreaming like so peaceful all the time. When I'm with.
And then obviously use makeup gain to compensate for that reduction. And then the second compressor is going to have a slightly slower, I say slightly slower, it's going to have a medium, it's probably going to have a medium release, or medium to fast release rather, and it's going to have a medium attack. And I'm just going to turn down the ratio on this one to 4:1. And I want it to, once again, to have about 4 to 6 dB of gain reduction. So let's give that a go.
I know what it seems like, though what we feel is dreamlike, so peaceful all the time. When I'm with you, you're still stuck in my mind.
Okay, and the idea being we'll get a nice smooth and in-your-face compression. So let's play it without the two compressors.
I know what it seems like, though what we feel is dreamlike, so peaceful all the time.
Okay, and this is with.
I know what it seems like, though what we feel is dreamlike, so peaceful all the time. When I'm with you, you're still stuck in my mind.
So hopefully you can hear the difference there. I think in particular in the final phrase of this vocal performance, you can really hear the two compressors working there. So give that one a go in your productions. So in this episode, we've covered 3 vocal compression techniques. So we've got a basic compression, how to set a compressor for a vocal. We've got the combination of an FET compressor and an optical compressor. And then I've used 2 FET compressors. So 3 techniques that hopefully you can use in your own productions. I hope you've enjoyed it and that you're able to take something away that you can use in your own productions. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. And if you're watching on YouTube, please do leave a comment letting me know how you approach vocal compression and what topics you would like covered in an Inside the Mix podcast episode. So until next time, thanks for tuning in.